Hi, my name is Bendigo, and I'm going to go through this quick introduction to Planetside for you. Now, I've logged in, I've set up my character, and I'm here in the game, and I'm presented with this map of Indar. Now, Indar is one of the 4 continents. You can see the other ones here. We've got Amrish, Esamir, Hosin, and Indar itself, which you can choose to fight on. And these things are all pretty large, much bigger than any standard FPS map that you'll have come across. Now, finding a fight is often quite tricky. However, with a few tips and pointers, you'll be able to work it out in no time. Now, my map, you can see, is coloured into 3 different factions. You've got red, blue, and purple. Now, I play for the Vanu Sovereignty, which is purple. The red is the Terran Republic, and the blue is the new conglomerate. Now, you can see that you've got the Terrans right here cut off at Alatum Biolab, which is a large base, large facility that they're defending quite aggressively. You've got the TR and NC, so you've got the VS and the NC fighting here over Paris Amp Station. You can see up here where we've got all these green blobs, we've got Mao Tech Plant, which is the Vanu Sovereignty apparently defending against the Terrans as they come in. Now, finding a good fight out of all this is actually not that difficult, because as you can see, we've only got a few different choices of these green blobs, and these green blobs are where you can respawn. Now, respawning is obviously key, because you will die, unfortunately, and you will probably die quite a lot as you get used to the game and get used to playing it, and well, as you'll see, it can get a little bit hectic. Now, I'm going to choose to fight up at Mao Tech Plant up here, and as you can see, there's this strange bar, and that strange bar is a capture bar, and it means that we're actually losing this tech plant. Now, I'm going to spawn in here, and I'm going to try and defend this area, this territory, from the Reds, these Terran Republic that are coming in from up here. Now, I'm going to spawn directly into this Sundra, and I'm going to choose to go heavy assault. Now, with my heavy assault, I'm going to try and do what I can to kill any enemies that are around here and get back this capture point, as I'll show you. Now, I'm choosing heavy assault because it allows me to deal with any situation that I come across. It's got both anti-infantry weapons and also anti-vehicle weapons. If I look at my setup for it, you can see I've got this assault rifle, light machine gun, I've got a pistol, I've got a decimator, which is a rocket launcher, and I've got a selection of other things as well. I've got C4, which are place explosives, as you've seen in all the games in the entire world, and I've also got these, which are concussion grenades that knock out my enemy and let me kill them easier. Now, I'm going to spawn in right here, although saying that, well, yeah, I'm going to spawn in right here. Now, having spawned in, you can see that I'm spawned in at this thing which is called a Sundra. It's a ground vehicle, support vehicle, and transport vehicle, which is pretty useful. Now, immediately, I'm looking around, I'm trying to find targets. Now, I've seen a target out here, this guy. Let's see what I can do to take him out. Oh, and perhaps his friend as well. Right, and that's sorted. So, those guys are now taken out. I'm looking around, and I'm trying to find myself some enemies. And on the map, on the mini-map, which you can see if I scroll in on the bottom corner, if I make larger, H is default to make that larger, incredibly useful. I've also bound it to my zoom in, zoom out to my mouse wheel, and that's super useful because it allows me to see what's going on. Now, I'm running around, and I'm running around pretty aimlessly there as I was talking about my mini-map, but I'm just going to, that gun does nothing, but apart from look pretty. Now, while I'm here, I may as well talk about this. This is what's called a capture point. Now, the enemy had this a second ago, and that's why we were losing the base. Now, capture points, there'll be one in every single territory in the game, and if you can get infantry, not max units, just standard infantry to it and stand next to it, you will start base capture, or if it's your base, you'll start defending the base if the enemy have already got it. And that's what the entire game revolves around. So you spawn in, you get to cap points, you take territory. And, well, I'd argue that you should always play the objective. Other people might argue that you just play to farm kills, but, well, I'll leave you to make your own decision. But if you play with the Vindicators, we play the objective, we don't farm kills. Or at least try not to. Now, the next thing I want to show you is I want to show you this generator, which is flashing conveniently down in this south part of the base. Now, with this generator, it is part of the base's defences, and this particular generator, the vertical generator, as you can see, if I look at it there, and on the mini map as well. The vertical generator, which is I'm trying to get to here, if these Terrans will stop trying to defend it. So, ineffectively, is currently the enemy's taking it out. I'm going to try and put a stop to that, although I can't because I'm not an engineer. And what I need is I need an engineer to come over here. I've got a couple of friendlies coming upstairs, but I'll try and defend them as they repair this thing, hopefully. Got my fingers crossed that one of them is an engineer. But anyway, what this thing does is this puts up a shield in front of the tech plant doors. And you can see if I look over here, back towards the tech plant, you can see there's that green, bluey, turquoisey, glowing shield. And that changes for the Empires. As I'm Vanu, our secondary colour is turquoise, and so that's why the shield is turquoise. Now, there's two of these generators. I know this is getting a bit confusing, but there are two of these generators, one here, one on the opposite side of the base. If I look over there, you can see it. 230 meters away. That one's up, so the shield remains up. If the enemy, if the Terrans take out both these gens, then that shield goes down and they can get into the base easier on the cap point. Now there are other ways in, but that's the easiest and most straightforward way for the average person. Now, looks like nobody's coming to fix that, sadly, so I'll have to move on. While I'm at the base, I'll show you another type of generator that's here. Now, here I am running across open ground, which is never usually a good idea. I'll put in a few wiggles, because potentially as I'm moving, attacks can come from any direction. I mean, you saw a couple of cloakers that I've killed, so they're invisible, they just hang around, and they can be hiding literally anywhere. You could have snipers up on the top of this base, even though it's ours, they could be hiding up there, making sure, and just firing pot shots down, despite the fact we own this whole area. We could have gal drops coming in, galaxy drops, big dropships that place troops around. We could have fighters coming in, or any number of different things that could be coming to try and kill me. So you've got to keep your head on the swivel, you've got to be looking around, you've got to make sure that you're safe. I mean, ideally you want to play with other people. At the moment I'm just playing on my own, just to demonstrate a few key facts to new players like yourself. Now here I'm showing you the SCU. Now that's a spawn control unit. Now at this base and a few other bases you'll have these SCU generators. Now these, if these go down, basically the defenders are screwed, because you can't spawn at the base any longer, and it becomes much easier for the attackers. So this really is a priority to keep, as well as the cap point. Now this, you can see, has got this orange shield around it, and that drops not because of a shield generator, but because of the capture progress timer. And once that reaches halfway, that shield will drop and the enemy can take it out. Now there's other ways in other bases for this to happen. In some bases it'll be that there's generators like the biolab I mentioned earlier, where the TR were held up. That base, there's a separate generator which determines whether or not that shield goes down.
Fix it, 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 fix it,
Voice chat,
fix it,
always useful.
fix it, fix it, fix it, fix it.
Okay,
Fix it.
so it sounds like they're fixing it, but anyway,
Good job.
as we look around for this base, you can see there's lots of open ground. Now over there you can see some more reds. There's Terrans for me. You can adjust all the colours yourself if you feel like it. If you're colourblind, you can change it so that they're not red, which might be pretty useful, I imagine. But for me, the Terrans are red. Now again, I'm going to travel over, and I'm going to travel over to this base. Now, then this next base is a tower fight. Now tower fights are pretty interesting. Now these quite often have 3 capture points, although sometimes they only have the 1. And this base in particular, if memory serves, only has 1, which isn't actually located in the main base. It's located off in a side base behind it. But overall, it's a very similar process to this. You go to the catch point, you take it, and you capture that base. Now, I believe that was all I really wanted to mention in this video. So I'm just going to push down this hill, and I'm going to see what I can do about taking this next base. Hopefully, ooh, there's lots of enemies down there. I don't want to be out in the open on my own. So let's have a quick look around. Now, yeah, taken out by a base turret. Never mind, that'll happen. And now that I get to choose where to respawn, I'll demonstrate that one last time before Okay. This death screen shows you what you've achieved in your life. So you've got all these personal stats. Oh, this guy's revived me. Perfect. And that scratches off the death stat from your current play session, which is handy, and it certainly makes you feel a bit better. Although it does count on various stat sites and things, which is fine. And I was really a bit foolish pushing down the hill by myself. What I should really do is wait for armor support to come around, maybe even some air support as well. Because with this, and you can see that tank got taken out immediately, so only if you're choosing my battles a bit easier, a bit better. Perhaps, I could do a number of things with this base. I could go over the top of this hill and get onto the pipe that's leading down there, and that would give me a bit of an elevated position onto these infantry that are charging down there, which might be pretty handy actually. Unfortunately, they got a bit angry. That guy doesn't like me.
Generator repaired.
Yeah, I'm using myself here. See, there's all these tanks off to the north, which is going to be a problem for any of our forces that are trying to push down. Oof. Can't really aim today. So that's basically what there is to it. You find a good fight where there's enemies to shoot, you spawn in, you travel safely, you get to a cap point, you capture it or you defend it, and just keep doing what you're doing. That's all I've got to say, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I hope it's been helpful.